As you progress further into your karate training, normally your ki-on tend to get a little bit more complex, which is why there's probably quite a few reactions like this. I don't know which hand to move. I don't know what happened next. Where do I put this foot? Ah! It's perfectly normal to get a bit confused sometimes. If only there were a way to remember sequences and perform them well, you've come to the right place. As you progress into your karate training, you may notice that in your ki-on especially, that you will go from learning just doing individual blocks by themselves to starting to do combinations. Now, the majority of the time, it would be doing blocks with reverse punch. So for all the sequences that are going to be covered, the main thing is going to be being able to prepare for the block, whether you're doing it from a blocking position or from a reverse punch position. This will also depend on what happens, whether you're stepping forward or backwards. The key is to remember the preparation before you then step forward, execute the block, and then being able to deliver the reverse punch as well. The breakdown here is going to be done so that we do it on the spot first, and the idea is being able to understand which way your hands move before adding your legs. And this way you will then be able to remember which hand will be preparing when you're punching, and then this way you'll have a very easy way of remembering which hand moves where in order to perform the blocks. So the first sequence, head block reverse punch. Now, the easy way to remember this would be simply change, change, change. As you can see, every single move, whether you're preparing, doing the block or the punch, you are simply changing your hand every time. There is never a same arm movement. So for example, you wouldn't prepare and block with the same arm or block and punch with the same arm. When moving in your stances, you will apply the same thing. Simply think, change, change, change. So you will simply make sure you prepare whilst changing your hands, you step back and block while changing your hand, and then you simply change your hand to perform the reverse punch. Outside block reverse punch. Now this is a different story. When you're doing outside block reverse punch, the key to remember here is the punching hand becomes the block. So when you apply this into your stances, you have to make sure that the punching hand pulls back so it comes by the side of your head while the other one is out straight. This enables you to perform that pulling action to be able to execute the block in front of you and then perform the reverse punch. This can be applied exactly the same for inside block reverse punch. The punching hand prepares, in this case, it goes under your other arm while the other arm straightens, and then you use the pulling action to block and then perform the reverse punch. This is repeated every single time. From reverse punch, it goes under your body and then you simply block and punch. This is exactly the same thing that happens for groin block reverse punch. It is the punching hand becomes the block. So simply for groin block reverse punch, your punching hand goes to your opposite ear while the other arm goes out straight, and then you simply pull the arm that is straight back to your hip, delivering the block downward before then adding the reverse punch. When stepping forward, ensure that you prepare nice and early, making sure that you execute the block just after you've landed the stance before then rotating your hips to add a nice strong reverse punch. So before we go on to the last sequence, remember the syllabus that we're covering is what we follow at Norwich Karate Academy. But it doesn't mean that you can't follow this and have a go at doing it if you're not part of an association or you fancy doing something different and a little bit more challenging. The key here is to be able to go from one stance to the next. In this case, it would be from back stance to catch stance. This is what we're going to focus on before we worry about the arms. Now, the important thing to think about when you're going from back stance to catch stance is thinking about twisting your back foot 45 degrees. So when I turn my foot 45 degrees, my front foot comes in, so my heel is off the floor, and I'm sinking my weight down. Basically, I'm sticking my butt out. So with your foot at 45 degrees and your heel up, sinking your weight down nice and low, this is how we do catch stance. It's making sure, as you can see from the mat here, I've got that line here. All I have to do is bring my foot in a straight line back, and I make sure I turn my foot 45 degrees. You can keep practicing that by simply going forward and backwards. If you want to practice stepping back, you simply step back in back stance, and then you think, foot turns 45 degrees, front foot comes back with my heel up, stick it back up, nice and low. So once you've got the hang of going from back stance to catch stance, we're going to start adding the blocks. Now, the two blocks in question here are knife hand block and groin block. You have to be able to perform the knife hand block in back stance before then going into groin block in catch stance. Now, don't worry, I'm going to give you a few little pointers so you can try and remember this as we go along. So we'll start nice and simple first. You're going from knife hand block first, and then when you come into back stance, you're making sure you prepare with your front hand. This is the key here. When you go from knife hand block to groin block, your front hand is the one that becomes the groin block. So it's simply front hand comes back for groin block. We then turn to catch stance, making sure you turn your foot 45 degrees, and then you block in catch stance. When you go to step back, however, you can simply make sure that the back hand comes up to your ear, and then you step back in back stance, making sure you complete the block. And then again, it's the front hand that goes to your ear. You simply turn and catch stance, and then you block. So before you complete the groin block, it's making sure that you prepare, go back into catch stance, and then block. To make it a little bit more different, if you were going from, say, reverse punch, you would simply think your punching hand comes back first to prepare for knife hand block. You would step back in knife hand block with back stance, then simply your front hand comes back, twisting your back foot, and then blocking groin block. So when you perform the catch stance, if you prepare with your front hand first, you can then think about the twist and finish the block at the same time. The last thing you want to do is think, move back and not prepare early enough. Just simply think, the same as everything in this video, prepare first, get into the stance, and then block. So then when you start to speed up, it looks a lot like this. Don't forget, these are sequences from our syllabus that you will see us do at Norwich Karate Academy. But that doesn't mean you can't apply that to your own training, take some ideas, work on some different things. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to check out 2 of our other videos that are closely related to our Ki-on drills. See you soon.